It's almost the new year. And if you're anything like the ambitious people we know you are probably writing out your goals for 2026 right now.
Oh, yeah. The big ones. Double revenue. Or, the classic 10x breakthrough.
Exactly. And look, here's the brutal truth. If you're setting those goals using the same old method, you're probably going to fail.
And it's not because you lack talent. It's not because you lack desire. It's because you're relying on what is fundamentally the most flawed strategy out there, the hope strategy.
So today, we're not here to crush those dreams. We're here to give you a shortcut. This deep dive is about seeing that New Year trap for what it is and, more importantly, installing a proven framework. Our mission is to show you how to shift from that hustle-dependent chaos to a predictable, compounding profit machine.
We've distilled it down to 5 essential layers. We're calling them the 5 interlocking A's that build the structure for any major goal.
And what are they?
We're talking about alignment, awareness, accountability, activities, and finally, assets. And here's the kicker. If you skip even one of these, the whole structure just collapses.
And the goal becomes irrelevant by, what, mid-February?
Usually. So let's dig into why most targets fail, and then how to build the kind of systemic pressure that makes success almost inevitable.
The hope strategy. It starts out so beautifully, doesn't it? It's just a pure rush of dopamine.
It really is. You watch that one inspiring keynote on YouTube,
And you feel completely invincible. You write this 10-page doc outlining your new empire. You commit to just working harder.
and that feels great for about 72 hours.
Yeah.
Then reality shows up, and it shows up hard.
It's always the late client payment or the operational fire you have to put out.
Right, and motivation, which felt totally limitless on Sunday night, is a fundamentally unstable resource. It just evaporates when it gets hit by reality.
It's a cycle of destruction. I see so many founders trapped in it. And the sources make this so clear. Your goals do not fail because you lack desire.
Not at all.
They fail because you focused only on the aspiration, that beautiful finish line, and you totally ignored the system required to get there.
Exactly. The critical insight is learning to respect that motivation is, well, it's highly unstable, but a solid routine. That's entirely predictable.
So if your success relies on you feeling super excited every single morning,
You've already lost the game. We have to install these weekly, non-negotiable operating steps. That's what systemic pressure is.
I see. So, okay, let's unpack that. If motivation is that unstable, how exactly do we prevent our goals from just becoming expensive hobbies?
We stop focusing on what we want to achieve and start focusing on the structure that makes achieving it inevitable.
So that brings us to the first A, which is alignment. And this is about focus, yes. But the sources push this idea deep into the personal.
They really do. They argue that most founders are genuinely miserable.
Why?
Because the business they're building fundamentally contradicts the life they actually want to lead, and that's a painful thing to realize.
It is.
If your destination is vague, your results will be vague. You need what the source calls disgusting specificity.
And that's not just a revenue number.
Not at all. It's defining the whole scene 3 years out, the exact P&L, the exact team size, and, this is the most critical part, your exact role in it.
Are you the CEO, the visionary, or are you the lead technician, the one actually doing the main work?
Right. And that definition forces a choice. And it's a choice between 2 paths that, according to the sources, do not mix.
Okay, so what are the 2 paths?
Path 1 is the lifestyle business. This is all about personal freedom, high profit margins. We're talking maybe 1 to 3 million in revenue, a small, super effective team of maybe 5 to 10 people.
And your role there is the lead artist.
You're the one generating the unique IP.
Yeah.
Then there's the other path, the performance business.
This one sounds intense.
It is. It's focused on market domination, on legacy, on a massive exit. You're aiming for 50 million plus in revenue, a team of 50 or more, and that comes with, well, intense stress and 80-hour weeks.
And your role is strictly CEO.
Strictly. Trying to say, I want a $50 million company, but I only want to work 25 hours a week, that just guarantees misery. It guarantees failure.
And this misalignment isn't just about you, right? It's about your inner circle, your spouse, your co-founder. They might subconsciously sabotage the plan.
Because you weren't truly honest with them about the time demands, the financial risk, the stress.
So that alignment has to happen now, or resentment just kills the whole thing later.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, what is the main danger of skipping this alignment definition step?
You end up building a high-paying prison. The business looks successful on paper, but it makes you profoundly unhappy.
And that brings us to A number 2, awareness. The brutal truths.
Right. Because once you set that massive aligned goal, every single problem you've been deliberately ignoring, it suddenly becomes impossible to avoid.
It really does.
Awareness is just stopping the pretense that everything is fine. You can't fix what you refuse to look at.
We see this constantly. Business owners operate with these comforting lies, I'll fix our operational debt once we hit $500,000.
But problems never fix themselves. They just get bigger.
And eventually, they become these fatal flaws that stop growth completely. We have to proactively identify these brutal truths.
So give us some examples. What do these look like on paper?
They're measurable facts, not feelings. Things like our lead gen is reliant entirely on personal referrals, and it's wildly inconsistent.
Or 80% of our revenue is non-recurring, so we start from zero every quarter.
A really tough one might be. Our entire service relies on a task that a cheap AI tool is going to automate completely in the next 18 months.
Wow. That's terrifyingly specific.
It is, and the fix is what the source calls the awareness list. It's a shared living document, but it's a psychological tool first.
And there are rules to it. Rule 1, no problem is too small.
Right. Document the paper jams right next to the major client churn. Rule 2, absolutely no blame or shame. This is just an observation report.
Rule 3, you have to review it regularly, at least once a month.
And the most important one, Rule 4, do not solve immediately.
That's the key, isn't it? It's so counterintuitive.
It is. But just acknowledging a problem, naming it, writing it down, it reduces the anxiety immediately, long before you even think about a solution.
It turns that subconscious dread into a clear, ready-for-action line item.
This raises an important question. What is the immediate psychological benefit of documenting these truths before we try to fix them?
Documenting problems transforms that heavy subconscious anxiety into clear, ready-for-action items. It gets the whole team prepared instead of scared.
Which leads directly into A number 3, accountabilities, power teams.
The classic trip up for the founder. They try to solve everything alone.
Yes. If you are the person responsible for every single breakthrough, you don't have a business. You have a high-paying, unscalable job.
This is all about the who, not how principle.
Exactly. You have to stop asking, how do I solve this? And start asking, who is the single best person to own this outcome?
And this needs a really disciplined quarterly system.
It does. You identify exactly 4 major breakthroughs for the next 90 days. Then you assign one human name to each. Just one.
The source gave a great example. If the breakthrough is launch a new high-ticket service, the owner isn't the marketing team.
No. It's head of product plus an external consultant. The head of product is the one human who is accountable. Something has 2 owners.
It has no owners.
0, because the responsibility just dissolves.
This is also where external pressure comes in. You need a force that won't let you hide. A coach, a mastermind, a peer board.
Someone who doesn't work for you. And that external financial investment is so critical.
How so?
The source material is powerful on this. Investing, say, $20,000 in a quarterly mastermind creates real psychological pressure.
Right.
That financial commitment makes quitting or delaying dramatically less likely when things inevitably get hard.
What's fascinating here is the external investment. Why is that financial commitment so critical to accountability?
The financial commitment creates critical pressure that internal motivation simply cannot match. You're just not going to let 20 grand go to waste.
That makes sense. Okay, let's take a quick break.
We'll be right back.
This is the critical transition point, A number 4. Activities. This is where the plan hits reality.
This is the boring weekly stuff.
It really is. Goals are achieved through boring, repetitive, non-negotiable activities, week after week. And I have to be honest here. I still wrestle with confusing motion with progress myself.
We all do.
I can spend a whole day on email, feel incredibly busy, and have achieved 0 movement on my big breakthroughs.
That's the trap. Most entrepreneurs are just busy with administrative noise, not needle-moving work. Success comes from consistent, systemic pressure, not from some motivational hack.
So we need to formalize a weekly rhythm.
Yes. It's the Monday-Friday rhythm. On Monday, you have the MMM, the Monday morning meeting. Brief, focused, brutally clear.
And everyone declares just 3 to 6 high-leverage moves for the week, not 50 tasks.
And those moves have to directly connect to one of the quarterly breakthroughs.
Then on Friday, you have the FAD, the Friday afternoon debrief.
This is the honest clinical review. What got done, what failed, why. And you have to do it with 0 shame or blame, otherwise the whole system breaks.
It has to be about learning, not punishment.
Right. So if the person accountable for lead gen reports that their activities were clean email inbox and organized desktop files.
They're failing. The list has to be full of execution. Make 15 sales calls, publish one piece of content, build the onboarding funnel.
That is what turns an aspiration into reality.
If we are reviewing our activities list, how do we know if we are focusing on the right high-leverage moves?
Your list must show execution on sales and system building, not just internal administrative tasks. If it doesn't move revenue or build an asset, it's probably clutter.
And that brings us perfectly to the fifth and final A, assets, compound growth.
This one is the real long-term difference maker.
It really is. It's the contrast between the entrepreneur who burns out and the one who builds generational wealth. The struggling mindset is just, I have to hustle harder.
While the wealthy mindset asks a totally different question. What asset can I build today that makes this whole process permanently easier tomorrow?
That shift in focus, it compounds so dramatically over 5 years.
It's the difference between digging a trench with a shovel every single day and building a simple backhoe that does the work for you.
An activity is work you have to do again tomorrow. An asset is built once and just keeps providing value. So what are the concrete categories here?
Think of 3 main buckets. First, intellectual property, your IP. Frameworks, courses, scorecards.
Second, brand assets. An email list, high-traffic blog, a great reputation.
And third, maybe the most valuable, systems. Automated funnels using tools like Zapier that just run 24/7.
That's the key. Whoa. Just imagine scaling your intellectual property into a system that generates qualified sales leads day and night without a single manual outreach.
That's true leverage. And there are only 3 ways to get an asset. You can buy it, build it, or improve it.
Let's talk about the financial difference. Say you have $10,000 to invest. Spending it on a one-time ad campaign is a pure activity.
You get a spike, and then it's gone.
But spending that same 10 grand on developing a proprietary lead generation scorecard, that's an asset investment. The ad disappears, the asset stays.
What's fascinating here is the long-term view. What's the biggest overall benefit of consistently prioritizing asset building?
You systematically transform the business from being hustle-dependent to being asset-rich. The systems do the heavy lifting, not you.
So let's wrap this all up. The big idea here. Success in 2026, it's not about wishing harder. It's not about motivation. It is about enforcing systemic pressure through these 5 A's. Your alignment, your awarenesses, your accountability, your weekly activities, and consistently building your assets.
It shifts revenue growth from a wishing game to a predictable math problem.
It really does. And the ROI on this is enormous.
Let's use an example. If you want that $300,000 lifestyle business, which needs maybe $1.2 million in revenue, you have to invest in the system. Put 25 or 35 grand into building a proprietary methodology PDF, that's the asset, and hiring someone to launch it, that's accountability.
The returns can be incredible.
Just 6 extra deals a year at 30 grand each is an extra $180,000 in revenue. That's a 500% plus ROI on the asset investment alone.
And this framework needs to be installed, not just thought about. We'd encourage you to turn this into a 5-day sprint. Now.
Okay, what's the sprint?
Monday, write the detailed alignment doc. Tuesday, start that awareness list. Wednesday, define your 4 quarterly breakthroughs and assign single owners.
Thursday, map out the weekly activities for each owner. And Friday.
Friday, commit to your first asset investment. This only works if it becomes a non-negotiable weekly habit.
So what does this all mean for the ambitious listener ready to make that leap?
The hustle culture is, for most people, a lie that just keeps them poor and exhausted. You don't need 100-hour weeks. You need better systems and enforced pressure.
Right.
Most people will finish listening to this, they'll feel motivated for a bit, and then they'll go right back to the merry-go-round of destruction.
An old system.
Exactly. But the fact that you listened to all of this, that you stayed with the detail, it means you're ready for the upgrade. Your future self is waiting for you to hit that update button.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Pick one area, establish the system, and fix it this week. We'll talk to you next time.